Hello all, welcome to Gurukul CAT 100 series, a series designed to take you from your study room to your corporate boardroom. I am Deepak and this is Daily Quant with Deepak. Hello all, welcome back to day 88 of 100 days to CAT Quant series. In this video, we'll be discussing 5 questions from quantitative aptitude. So whenever a question is displayed on the screen, pause the video, try solving that question. Once you're done solving, you can resume the video. If you find this video helpful, like the video, share this video with your friends who are preparing for CAT, and most importantly, for more videos of this kind, subscribe to this channel and let us help you with your CAT preparation. In case if you want to attempt these 5 questions in the form of a test, you can log into our portal, thegurukul.org.in. The link is already in the description below. Once you click that link, you'll get enrolled to a course called 100 Days Race to CAT, in which there will be 3 sections: Quant, LRD, and BRC. We'll be uploading 100 tests in each section, so that if you're a serious CAT 25 aspirant, you'll get to practice 300 tests, approximately 1500 questions, which we consider to be a good number of questions to practice in the last days of your CAT preparation, right? And all these are absolutely for free. And without any further delay, let's get started with the first question. Now coming to the first question, with rectangular axis of coordinates, the number of paths from 1, 1 to 8, 10 via 4, 6, where each step from any point is either to x, y plus 1 or to x plus 1, y. Right. Now let's understand this question. Now you are initially at x, y, right? So you can move along x axis or y axis, horizontal or vertical, right? Now you can take only one step along x axis so that you will get to reach x plus 1, y, or you can take one step along the y axis, so you will be reaching a point x, y plus 1. Right. Now following this, you should be reaching 8, 10 from 1, 1. Now this is our starting point, and let me consider 8, 10 to be your destination, right? And you should be passing through 4, 6, right? And every time you can move either one step in the horizontal direction or one step in the vertical direction, right? Now let us understand the logic here. Now from 1, 1, you should be reaching 2, 2, right? Now how many ways? Taking one step at a time, right? So 2, 2, what is vertical distance? 1 unit, horizontal distance, 1 unit, right? So you can first move in the horizontal direction, so you will be reaching a point here, and you can move in the vertical direction. So one horizontal and one vertical, right? So we will take you to 2, 2. Similarly, first I can move along the vertical direction and then horizontal direction. So B and H. So either you can take this path, HB, one horizontal step and one vertical step, or one vertical step and one horizontal step, right? So taking any of these two, you will end up reaching 2, 2, right? So this is nothing but, since you have to make one horizontal and one vertical, right? The number of ways of arranging this, one way is HV and the other way is VH, right? If you had understood this logic, right? So we can apply the same logic if you have to reach 4, 6 from 1, 1, right? Now what is the horizontal distance that you need to travel? 3 units, right? So you should be taking 3 steps in the horizontal direction. So H, H and H. Now how many steps do you need to take in vertical direction? 5, because this distance is 5. So you have to take 5 vertical steps in any order. Now in how many ways can you arrange 3 horizontal steps and 5 vertical steps? Total how many do we have? 8 factorial. Right? By now, since these 3 are identical, you will be having 3 factorial in the denominator into these 5 identical vertical steps, 5 factorial. Right? Now what is 8 factorial by 5 factorial? 6 into 7 into 8 by 3 factorial, 6. So this is 56. So there are 56 ways to reach 4, 6 from 1, 1. Now once you have understood the logic, we can apply same logic to reach 8, 10 from 4, 6, right? So what is the horizontal distance? 4, 8 minus 4. What is the vertical distance? 10 minus 6, 4, right? Now you have 4 horizontal steps to take, 4 vertical steps to take in any order. So you need to arrange these 8. How many ways? 8 factorial by, since you have 4 horizontal steps that are identical, 4 factorial into 4 factorial. So 8 factorial by 4 factorial, that would be 5 into 6 into 7 into 8, and 4 factorial is 24. Now 6 fours, 4 twos, so this would be 70, right? So there are 70 ways to reach 8 comma 10 from 4 comma 6, right? Now here you have to reach 4 comma 6 from 1 comma 1, and then 8 comma 10 from 4 comma 6. So you have total of 56. Now since the connector is and into 70. Now 7 into 50, 350, 7 into 6, 42, 350 plus 42, 392, and a 0. So 3920 becomes the answer to this question. Now coming to the second question. Meena scores 40% in an examination, and after review, even though her score is increased by 50%, she fails by 35 marks. If her post-review score is increased by 20%, she will have 7 marks more than the passing score. The percentage score needed for passing the examination is. Now let me consider the maximum marks to be 100x. So she scored 40% in an examination. So she scored 40x marks, and after review, even though her score is increased by 50%. Now increased by 50% of what? 50% of this 40x, right? Now what is 50% of 40x? 20x. So if this is increased by 20x, so after getting 60x marks, she fails by 35 marks, right? So in order to pass the exam, she should have got 35 more marks. So the pass mark becomes 60x plus 35. Done. Then what? If her post review score, this is her post review score. If that is increased by 20%, what is 10% of 60x? 6x. What would be 20%? 12x. So 60x plus 12x, 72x. So if she had got 72x marks, she will have 7 marks more than the passing score. So her score would be p plus 7, or p is equal to 72x minus 7, right? Now in both the equations the right hand side parts are same, so you can just equate the left hand side parts. So 60x plus 35 should be equal to 72x minus 7. So 35 plus 7 is 42. 42 is equal to 12x, right? Now what was asked? The percentage score needed for passing the examination is, right? Now first let's find the maximum score. If 12x is equal to 42, I can further simplify this as divide by 3. 4x will be equal to 14. Right. Now, what do we need? First, let's find the maximum score. Maximum score, we have assumed that to be 100x. Now, if 4x is equal to 14, now to have 100x, how can we have 100x here? Multiplying it with 25. Same, I'll be multiplying this with 25. Right? So 10 into 25 is 250, 4 into 25 is 100, 250 plus 100, 350. So the maximum marks in that exam is 350. But what was asked? We are asked to find the percentage score needed for passing the exam. Right? Now pass mark is nothing but 60x plus 35. Now 60x. Now we have 4x is equal to 14. To find 60x, you need to multiply 14 with 12x is equal to 42. So we have 12x is equal to 42. 60x and just you need to multiply that with 5. So you will be having 60x is equal to 42 into 5. That would be 210. Right. So pass mark is 210. Now pass mark is what percentage of total marks? So 210 by 350 into 100. So 7 threes, 7 fives, 5 20s. So 60%. Option C should be the answer to this question. Now coming to the third question. In a race of 3 horses, the first beat the second by 11 meters and the third by 90 meters. If the second beat the third by 80 meters, what was the length in meters of the race course? So we have 3 horses, 1, 2, and 3. Now let the length of that race course be x meters. So if you have first horse traveling x meters, that beats the second horse by 11 meters. So the second horse would have traveled only x minus 11 meters in that specific time, right? And the third was beaten by 90 meters. So the third horse would have traveled a distance of x minus 90, right? In the time that first horse has completed the race, right? Now, if the second beat the third by 80 meters, so in the time that the second horse travels is x meters, right? So the third horse travels only 80 x minus 80 meters, right? Now what was asked, what was the length in meters of the race course? We are asked to find the value of x, right? Now let me consider this case. What is the ratio of speeds, right? Now all the three horses are traveling for the same time, right? So when the times are equal, right, so speed and distance are directly proportional. So speed of second horse by speed of third horse would be equal to x minus 11 by x minus 90. Similarly, in the second case, right, again, both the horses are traveling for the same time. So what is the ratio of the distance covered? X is to x minus 80. So this should be equal to x by x minus 80. Simply cross multiply. So what do we have? X square minus 91x plus 880 is equal to x square minus 90x. So these two will get cancelled. Sending 91 to right hand side, 91 minus 90. X is equal to 880 meters. So the length of the race course is 880 meters. Now coming to the fourth question. AB is the diameter of a circle of radius 5. Let P and Q be 2 points on the circle so that the length of PB is 6 centimeters and the length of AP is twice that of AQ. Then the length in centimeter of QB is nearest to. So we have a circle AB being the diameter of that circle and the radius of that circle is given to be 5 centimeters. So the diameter would be 10 centimeters. Now let P and Q be 2 points on the circle so that the length of PB is 6 centimeters. So let me consider point P here. Right. Now this is given to be 6 centimeters. And the length of AP is twice that of AQ. Okay. First let's find the length of AP. Now what is this? This is a semicircle and we know that area subtended in a semicircle is right angle. So this is 90 degrees. So 6, 10. Use Pythagoras triplets. 3 is to 5. So this should be 4 parts. Right. So if 3 parts is equal to 6 and 5 parts is equal to 10, 4 parts would be equal to 8 centimeters. Done. Then what? Length of AP is twice that of AQ. So if AP is of 8 centimeters, AQ should be of 4 centimeters. So let me consider point Q here. Now this is 4 centimeters. Then what was asked? The length of QB is nearest to. Again, if you consider the lower half of that circle, in the semicircle, this will be right angle. Hypotenuse one of the perpendicular sides. So apply Pythagoras theorem. QB square is equal to AB square minus AQ square. 100 minus 16. Now this should be root 84. Right, so it should be greater than 9. So you'll get to eliminate options A and D. Now that cannot be 9.3 because 84 is close to 81. So approximately I can mark the answer as option C, 9.1. Now coming to the last question. One can use three different transports which move at 10, 20 and 30 kilometers per hour respectively. To reach from A to B, Amal took each mode of transport one third of his total journey time, while Bimal took each mode of the transport one third of the total distance. The percentage by which Bimal's travel time exceeds Amal's travel time is nearest to. Right. So we have A to B. Now let me consider Amal's. Right. So let the total time spent by Amal to be 3T. Amal, right? Okay. Fine. Then he had divided this 3T into three equal time intervals, and for each time interval, he traveled at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour, 20 kilometers per hour, and 30 kilometers per hour. So this stretch he traveled at 10 kilometers per hour. This stretch 20 kilometers per hour, and for this time 30 kilometers per hour. So if that's the case, what is the total distance between A and B? 10 into T. So 10T plus 20T plus 32. 60T. Done. Now what happened? Now Bimal took each mode of transport 1/3 of the total distance. Right. So now we have A and B. So he had traveled equal distances by the different modes of transports. So 20T. So he traveled this 20T distance at 10 kilometers per hour, this 20T distance at 20 kilometers per hour, and this 20T distance at 30 kilometers per hour. So speed is 10 here, speed is 20 kmph, and speed is 30 kmph. Right. Now we know that distance is 20T, speed is 10 kilometers per hour. So what's the time? Distance by speed, 20T by 10, 2T. Now here 20T by 20, T. Here 20T by 30, 2 by 3, T. So the total time taken by Bimal would be 3T plus 2T by 3. Okay. Now what was asked? The percentage by which Bimal's travel time exceeds Amal's travel time is nearest to. Now what did we consider the Amal's travel time to be? 3T. Now Bimal's travel time 3T plus 2T by 3. So how much by how much does this exceed 3T? 2T by 3. So 2T by 3. Now this increase we are comparing with Amal's travel time. What is Amal's travel time? 3T into 100. Right. So I can cancel T. So this becomes 200 by 3 into 3, 9. So 200 by 9 is 22.22%. So what was asked? Amal's travel time is nearest to. So option A should be the answer to this question.
Hope you enjoyed learning from today's session.
This series is designed to help you with your CAT preparation and practice daily. We are with you in this journey.
To watch the next video, click here. And to watch Gurukul's CAT 100 series, study room to boardroom, the entire playlist, click here.
If you learned from today's session, like, share, and subscribe.